Pastor Jonathan King was a pillar of the community. His presence was felt far and wide, not just within the walls of his church, but throughout the entire town and beyond. He was a man who wore many hats, each one with grace and humility. He was more than just a pastor. He was a friend, a confidant, and a guide. His sermons were legendary, filled with wisdom and compassion, touching the hearts of everyone who listened. His words had a way of resonating deeply, offering comfort and insight. People would flock from neighboring towns just to hear him speak. They came not just for the eloquence of his words, but for the profound sense of peace and understanding that he imparted. His church became a beacon, drawing in those seeking solace and direction. They came for solace, for guidance, and for the unwavering sense of hope that Pastor King emanated. His presence was a source of strength for many, a light in times of darkness. He had an uncanny ability to make each person feel seen and heard, no matter their troubles. His church was a sanctuary. It was a place where hearts found solace, where the weary could rest and find peace. The doors were always open, welcoming anyone in need of a safe haven. The church stood as a symbol of hope and refuge. It was a place where hearts found solace. The serene atmosphere, the gentle light filtering through the stained glass, and the quiet hum of prayer created an environment of tranquility. It was a place where one could reflect and find inner peace. It was a place where weary souls found rest. The church provided a respite from the chaos of the outside world, a place to recharge and find strength. Pastor King ensured that everyone who entered felt welcomed and cared for. Pastor King's compassion knew no bounds. He was always there to lend a listening ear, to offer a comforting word, or to provide a shoulder to lean on. His empathy and kindness were evident in every interaction. He had a way of connecting with people. Whether it was through a simple handshake, a heartfelt conversation, or a warm smile, he made everyone feel valued and understood. His genuine care for others was palpable. He listened without judgment and offered comfort with open arms. His ability to empathize and provide support was a testament to his character. He made it his mission to be there for his community in their times of need. He was a man of unwavering faith, his belief in God as solid as the church he presided over. His faith was the foundation of his life, guiding his actions and decisions. He inspired others to find strength in their own faith. His life revolved around his congregation, his every action guided by a desire to serve. He participated in community activities, served food at church events, and was always looking for ways to help others. His dedication was unwavering. Pastor King was a true beacon of hope. His presence was a reminder that there was always light, even in the darkest of times. He embodied the very essence of hope and faith, inspiring those around him to believe in a better tomorrow. He was a testament to the power of faith and the strength of community. His leadership brought people together, fostering a sense of unity and support. He showed that through faith and community, anything was possible. His presence enriched the lives of all who knew him. He left an indelible mark on the hearts of his congregation, a legacy of love, compassion, and unwavering faith. Pastor Jonathan King was, and always will be, a beacon of hope. Then, tragedy struck. One Sunday, after delivering a particularly moving sermon, Pastor King collapsed. His heart, overworked and tired, had finally given out. Panic surged through the congregation as paramedics rushed him to the hospital. He was alive, but barely. The doctors, grim-faced and cautious, warned of the possibility of permanent damage. Pastor King slipped into a coma. Days turned into nights. Hope, once so abundant, began to dwindle. The community held vigils, their prayers a constant hum in the sterile silence of the hospital. They clung to their faith, seeking solace in the face of uncertainty. The church, usually so alive with activity, felt strangely empty. The weight of Pastor King's absence pressed down on everyone. The man who had always been their rock, their source of strength, was now the one in need of their prayers. As days stretched into weeks, the fear in their hearts grew. Would their beloved pastor ever wake up? Lost in the depths of the coma, Pastor King found himself in a realm beyond human comprehension. It was a place of ethereal beauty, awash in soft light and vibrant colors. He felt a sense of peace he had never known before. A presence, warm and comforting, enveloped him. Then, a figure emerged from the light. It was Isa, Jesus, his form radiating love and compassion. But this Isa was different from the one he knew from the Bible. This Isa spoke of unity, of the oneness of God. He spoke of Muhammad, a prophet he called a brother, a messenger of the same God they both worshipped. Pastor King was overwhelmed. He had always known Isa as the Son of God, the Savior. But here, in this sacred space, he was being shown a different truth. He listened, his heart pounding, as Isa revealed a message of universal love, a message that transcended the boundaries of religion. Unveiling truth. Isa's message of unity. Isa spoke of a single God, merciful and compassionate, the creator of all things. His message was one of unity, transcending the boundaries of time and space, reaching out to every soul willing to listen. He spoke of Islam, a faith of peace and submission to the will of God. Islam, which means submission in Arabic, is not just a religion, but a way of life, guiding its followers towards a path of righteousness and moral integrity. He revealed the Quran as the final testament, a continuation of the divine message sent through all prophets, including himself. The Quran, with its profound verses, serves as a beacon of light, illuminating the path for those who seek truth and wisdom. He spoke of Muhammad as the final messenger, sent to guide humanity towards truth and righteousness. Muhammad's life and teachings are a testament to his unwavering dedication to spreading the message of God, embodying the principles of justice, compassion, and humility. Pastor King absorbed these revelations, his mind struggling to reconcile what he was hearing with everything he thought he knew. The words of Isa echoed in his mind, challenging the very foundation of his beliefs. He had dedicated his life to Christianity, to spreading the word of Jesus Christ. His sermons were filled with passion and conviction, drawing people closer to the teachings of Christ. Yet, here was Isa himself, revealing a different path, a path that led to the same God, the same truth. This path was not in contradiction to what he had known, but rather a continuation, a deeper understanding of the divine. The encounter shook him to his core. It was as if a veil had been lifted, revealing a new dimension of faith that he had never considered before. It challenged his beliefs, his convictions, everything he had ever held dear. The struggle within him was intense, a battle between the old and the new, the familiar and the unknown. But as he listened to Isa's words, he felt a sense of liberation, a lifting of the veil that had always separated him from a deeper understanding of God. This newfound clarity brought with it a sense of peace, a realization that the essence of faith transcends the labels and divisions created by man. Isa's message was clear: unity in faith, unity in humanity. It was a call to look beyond the superficial differences and recognize the common thread that binds us all. This message resonated deeply with Pastor King, igniting a spark of hope and a desire to bridge the gap between different faiths. He realized that the true essence of faith lies in understanding, compassion, and unity. It is about embracing the diversity of God's creation and finding common ground in our shared humanity. Isa's words were not just a revelation, but a call to action, urging him to be a beacon of unity and understanding in a world often divided by differences. As the sun rose on a new day, Pastor King felt a renewed sense of purpose. He knew that his journey of faith had taken a profound turn, leading him towards a deeper, more inclusive understanding of God's message. Isa's message of unity had not only transformed his beliefs, but had also opened his heart to a greater sense of love and compassion for all of humanity. A new dawn, a new faith. The pastor's revelation. The sun rose over the small town, casting a golden hue on the church steeple, signaling the beginning of a new day, a day that would change everything. Pastor King awoke from the coma a changed man. His eyes fluttered open, adjusting to the sterile white of the hospital room. The beeping of the machines was a stark reminder of the life he had just returned to. The encounter with Isa had left an indelible mark on his soul. In the depths of his unconsciousness, he had experienced something profound, something that transcended the physical world. It was as if a divine light had pierced through the darkness, illuminating truths he had never considered. He could no longer deny the truth that had been revealed to him. The clarity of his vision was undeniable, and the message he received was clear. He felt a newfound purpose, a mission that he could not ignore. He knew he had to share this truth with the world, with his congregation, no matter the cost. The weight of this revelation was heavy, but it was a burden he was willing to bear. He had to be the vessel through which this message was delivered. He called for a sermon, his heart pounding with a mix of trepidation and anticipation. As he walked towards the church, each step felt like a step towards destiny. His hands trembled slightly as he prepared his notes, but his resolve was unwavering. As he stood before his congregation, he saw the concern and the love in their eyes. They had gathered, as they always did, expecting a familiar message of hope and faith. But today, he had something different to share, something that would challenge their very core beliefs. He took a deep breath and began to speak, his voice trembling slightly at first, then gaining strength as he recounted his experience. He spoke of the vision, of the divine presence that had visited him in his coma. His words were filled with passion, each sentence a testament to the profound change within him. He spoke of his encounter with Isa, of the message of unity and love. He described the overwhelming sense of peace and understanding that had washed over him. It was a message that transcended religious boundaries, a call for unity among all of humanity. He spoke of Islam and the Quran, of Muhammad as the final prophet. He shared the teachings that had been revealed to him, the words that had resonated so deeply within his soul. He explained how these teachings had brought him a sense of clarity and purpose he had never known before. He declared his newfound faith, his conversion to Islam. With conviction in his voice, he announced his decision to embrace this new path. It was a declaration that would forever change his life and the lives of those around him. Silence engulfed the church as his words hung in the air. The congregation was stunned, their faces a mix of shock and disbelief. The weight of his revelation settled over them like a heavy fog, leaving them grappling with the implications. He knew he had dropped a bombshell, shattering their perceptions, challenging their beliefs. The silence was deafening, but he stood firm, knowing that he had spoken his truth. He had planted a seed, and now it was up to them to nurture it or let it wither. Yet, he also knew he had spoken his truth, the truth revealed to him by Isa himself. As he looked out at the faces of his congregation, he felt a sense of peace. He had fulfilled his duty, and now he could only hope that they would find their own path